sit before the fire, mesmerized by flickering firelight. I hear scraps of conversation around me. People telling stories, scary stories, sad stories, happy stories. I hear bits of history, of tradition. I hear snatches of song, bells, drums in the distance. I think of age-old tales of monsters and spirits. My mind wanders, and I think of stories in our lives. Legends, fables, myths. I am no longer a dreamer gazing at the fire. No longer the anthropologist envisioning exotic people. Where did stories begin?
Well, her grandmother...
They may have begun as simple chants that praised the dawn, or images, scratches in sand and in stone. People making their marks upon the land. Tales etched in stone that portray successful hunts, famine and drought, deities and demons, war and peace, journey and migration.
Here's how the story.
I think of the ancients. At night, firelight lit stone walls and held back the darkness. People gathered around their own blazing fire. Immersed in mystery, ritual and magic unfolding before their very eyes. I have found the origin. Simple people sharing ideas of oral tradition marching forward toward modern communication.
Not quite too big. This is still not...
As man grew capable of abstract ideas, rough sounds developed into crude sentences, became language. And with language, stories were born.
This is too hot.
Stories carried the deepest themes of humanity. Common folk told stories at home, at work, and at festivals.
Once upon a time,
The little bowl.
Priests invented stories of gods, with special powers to control phenomena, to explain inexplicable things like thunder and lightning, day and night. Stories flowed through the ages, and man continued to make his mark. The invention of the printing press brought written language to the people. Magic black boxes called cameras produced permanent images on film and paper. The radio brought words out of thin air, and people gathered to hear stories and news. Film enlarged those stories onto the silver screen. Cowboys and Indians, cops and robbers, a window to exotic countries. Television brought the phenomena into our very homes, for good or ill. The internet brings interactivity into stories. New and sophisticated methods of spinning tales develop. Animation, special effects, graphic manipulation, and digital stories.
And there was a big table
One
with
summer.
3
With stories, we rekindle the fires of our ancestors. Still a vehicle to make sense of lives in a world that often defies logic. They keep us gloriously alive. They are the stuff of dreams, and it is through our dreams that we find our potential and ourselves, making our marks on the world.
her grandmother went to town for some errands.
And me? I continue to muse before the fire, reflecting on my stories. They are everywhere, around me and in me.
Once upon a time,
I, too, make my mark on humanity. My marks are executed on a laptop. My scratchings are engraved on a rainbow-colored disc. My mark is the timeless flow of humanity, just as this hand is engraved in stone. My way of keeping the fire burning.
Goldilocks was very curious.